Now they're ready to go. This is the ATA Stakes. And the gates are back. They're racing. Mr. Albee was the first of them to leave. Heartstarter, though, jumped on equal terms and is going to burn him off just after the start from Action. Mississippi Delta rolls up there. So does Capo Doro. And behind those, Royal Star down on the inside when they settle from Persistence Time, and getting back to last, It's a Him. Heartstarter held the front going into the turn out of the home straight. And as they go up on top of the rise here at the 1800, Heartstarter leads the way. Capo Doro comes across after being 3 deep to be second. Mr. Albee down on the inside is third. And Parnham just eases Mississippi Delta back there fourth. And so she gets a beautiful trail behind Capo Doro. Over on the inside at the 1600, Royal Star Action's gone back there with It's a Him, and Persistence Time is next to last. Heartstarter led them. O'Donnell's got control of the speed here in the ATA Stakes. At the 1400, Heartstarter on top by 1. Capo Doro. Down on the inside is Mr. Albee. The run of the race afforded here to Mississippi Delta. Trailed then a length and a half away by Action. Royal Star, the other of the trio in the cerise and white, down on its inside. The last couple, the grey It's a Him back with Persistence Time. And they're just ambling along as they work out towards the riverside of the track. Less than 1100 to go. Heartstarter on top 3/4, and they're really dawdling. Capo Doro second. He's under restraint. Mr. Albee third. Mississippi Delta fourth. And then over on the outside, off around them, 3 deep is Action. Royal Stars over on the inside, nearing the 800-metre mark, being followed by Persistence Time. And It's a Him last of all, no more than 5 lengths covering the field, where Heartstarter, who's been in front from the word go, leads them. At the 600, Heartstarter only ahead to the good of Capo Doro. Mississippi Delta about to peel off his heels and set after them. Mr. Albee down on the inside, searching for runners. Capo Doro reaches the lead. Pike had Action under heavy pressure back there in the field from Royal Star. Persistence Time, forget It's a Him. Capo Doro heads for home, straightened up in front now. They turn. Anoski has gone for him at the 250. Capo Doro from Mississippi Delta. She starts to run on now. Further back is Action. He's finishing on hard. Mississippi Delta with 100 to go. The leader, Action, trying valiantly, but Mississippi Delta kept going by Chris Parnham, will hold Action. Mississippi Delta beat Action. Capo Doro third home from Mr. Albee or Royal Star. Then Persistence Time. A gap to at the head of the others, It's a Him, and dropping out to run last is Heartstarter. Five's the winner, Mississippi Delta. Chris Parnham. Action kept coming because he was under real pressure from Pike, trying to work into the race, whereas Mississippi Delta had the run of the trip right behind Capo Doro, who'd set sail for home. Hadn't run for the 3 weeks. It told a bit late in the race. He'll benefit from that. And Mississippi Delta surging clear, but then Action started to wind up down the outside. The post coming too late for Action and Pike, and Mississippi Delta has got the money here for Grant and Alana Williams, another listed race success during this summer of racing. The winners by High Chaparral from Mississippi Belle. For Bob and Sandra Peters, Chris Parnham aboard the winner, $4.162 Action. Stable Quinella, W. Pike aboard by Piero from Broadway Bell, and Capo Doro third home by Medaglia Doro from Deep Time, Fred Kersley and Jared Noski. For the Oakland Park stud, Joe Oxley, Brad Thomas and Dennis McInerney. Half a length by 1 are the margins. It's a half by 1, and the time's 2:19.04, and they just jog-trotted there through a good part of the race. 35.31 the last 600. So 5.247, and all the permutations now, I guess, will come in terms of who runs in the Cup. Who'll ride these runners in the Cup in the cerise and white as they take on the might of Darren McCall of Seard as well, with Gatting and the Big Show all engaged there. So it's looming as a really interesting race. Now the next on the card, the Key Clean Handicap over 1800. Number 4, Kia Aura Star comes out there. A field of 12. Brittany Taylor's joining us. She's down there in the winners' enclosure. And Bob's got some Perth Cup plans, no doubt, to try and sort out before we come back here on the 5th of January, Britt.
Yes, only 1 week to make some big decisions, probably more so for William Pike, I would suggest. But Bob, 1 week out from the Perth Cup, what was it that when you come to the races in a race like this, what do you want to see?
I just want to see a horse finish on well, and a horse that's, you know, well and comfortable. And, you know, even before the race, I said to Grant, he'll need this one.
And do you see both of them finish 1 and 2 there? Royal Star back in 5th. So all horses have ran well. But let's focus on these two at the top. Mississippi Delta, first of all. What were your impressions of her performance today?
That was good, because normally she gets further back. And I said to Chris before the race that they were probably going to walk to try and be a little bit closer. And I think the fact that he was up there closer made the race for her.
What about Action? You must be excited to see his improved performance today.
Yes, he's been coming along all the way through. He's looking good, and hopefully he can keep going.
Now, if you have to give Pikey some advice on which way that he should be riding next weekend, what would you be suggesting?
No, I keep out of that. I don't want to be the one that's made the decision. He can make that.
Well, hopefully we'll catch up with him a little later and see which way he'd like to go. Best of luck going forward to the Perth Cup next weekend, and congratulations on this win, Bob.
Thank you, but I don't think he'll tell you now.
Probably not, but we will ask him anyway. We will find out. But we'll have a chat with Chris Parnham here, who's done a wonderful job to take out this race. And Chris, Bob just mentioning that it was good to see the horse. She was happy to travel and be up prominent early, and then just found a lovely spot in running. Yeah,
found a good position in running. I sort of thought maybe before the race that it would map out that way, and that's how it sorted itself out. And she had a lovely run. She's a horse that doesn't really travel that well throughout, so you have to be at her just a little bit to just to keep her mind on the job, but she was too good today.
When you were coming around the corner and you were just wanting to peel out a little bit, what was going through your mind? Did you know you had to get marching because Pikey was making his move?
Oh, I sort of knew that they weren't going that hard, so I sensed something coming around me about the 800 and just sort of had to put her into the race a little bit. Then it was just Capodora to get past, and once she got past that horse, she probably just switched off a little bit, and Action flew at me late, but she did enough to hold on.
We know Willie generally gets the choice of rides when it comes to his Perth Cup mount next week. Who would you like to be riding?
They're all good rides. Can't really split Perfect Jewel and Mississippi Delta. They were both been really good Perth Cup lead-up runs, so yeah, it'll be a bit tough decision. See what Willie goes for, then see what I go for. Well,
congratulations and good luck with the thinking about that this week.
Thank you.
Chris Parnham there, combines with Grant and Alana Williams and Peter's Investments to take out the ATA Stakes on trial in 7 days' time for the Perth Cup.